On a sunny day in September, the Lone Star Flight Museum held its grand opening celebration for its new home at Ellington Field. Museum CEO Doug Owens gives us an overview.
Our new museum is 130,000 square feet. We have two 30,000 square foot hangars, one of which we're standing in right now. And along with the hangars, they center around three galleries. We've got our Aviation Learning Center, our Aviation Heritage Gallery, and our Flight Academy. And in the middle of the Aviation Heritage Gallery, we've got the Texas Aviation Hall of Fame. We've been the home of the Hall of Fame for over 20 years. We've got 71 Texans that are enshrined in the Hall of Fame, and we're excited to call this place home. Ellington turned 100 years old this year. It's historic in its own right. It came into being in 1917 and has served as a military training base and staging base for many, many years, closing in the mid-70s. And today it's home of Joint Reserve Base Ellington, where all of the services are represented. Very unusual for any military location. So we have the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, and even the Coast Guard all represented here on Ellington. Our museum is set up for inspiring and educating young people. We focus this in an effort to help bring history together with science, technology, engineering, and math, and help bring those two and marry them together in a way that gives understanding to how the evolution of aviation over time has impacted our culture and society. And the many things that we take for granted today came by virtue of very hard work, a lot of intrepid efforts by early explorers and pioneers in aviation, all the way up to today where we celebrate flight as something that we take for granted in many cases.
If these beautiful birds steal your heart, there's a way to get even closer. Become a volunteer.
I've been a volunteer at Lone Star Flight Museum since about 2009, and I get to do a lot of different functions, a lot of different things with the museum. We're very pleased to be in our new facility here today and with the grand opening. Personally, I get to do things such as marshal aircraft, and I'm crew chief on the B-17 and B-25. I get to clean airplanes, I get to sweep the floors and do a lot of variety of things. We try and match people's interests and skill sets with the needs of the museum for volunteers. We have a volunteer coordinator who does a superb job of matching those people and with those requirements. So we have a lot of volunteers, and that is somewhat the backbone of the museum. Since I've been a little kid, I've always enjoyed aviation, and this is an outlet for that, if you will, to get to participate with these historic aircraft and work with just a phenomenal group of folks. In 2009, when I began to volunteer for the museum, I was looking for something that my son and I could do together, and he now has graduated from college and got a job and moved off, and I'm still here and still having a great time. So being around aircraft, historic aircraft, meeting the people that come through the doors, the veterans and the little kids that come through, and showing them and telling them about the history and about aviation and these aircraft, and helping them explain to them what all this is and why it's fun and why it's important and why we need to remember and learn from those experiences of others. There's several different things that we touch. Aviation is somewhat the vehicle, if you will, but a lot of what we talk about is the STEM program, science, technology, engineering, and math. So we have a learning center here, and folks can learn about, especially children, can learn about what Bernoulli's principle is and how to pull a weather report, what that means, how to build the flight plan, and then actually go and execute it. So they're learning things, but they're having a good time while they're doing it. And that's important for them to have a good time, otherwise, why would you want to do it?
The latest technology, friendly people, and two hangars that look like a giant's toy box. Fun? Yeah, I think they've got that covered. For more information about the museum and its programs, visit www.lonestarflight.org. For Day Trips, I'm Stacee Hawkins.